And we're live. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Just doing a early morning 2K session. Every now and then I like to hop on, kind of decompress. It gives me a chance to, just talk open freely about what's going on in the world of wrestling. We're going to start off with Sandman versus RVD. Extreme Rules match. We're going to defend the ECW TV title. Sandman a part of that new ECW DLC pack. I've only seen his entrance maybe once online. You saw me on my phone. I was just double checking the volume, seeing how it's coming out on your guys' end. It's a very generic entrance for Sandman. Obviously, they couldn't really get the rights to Metallica's Enter the Sandman. And one thing that is kind of upsetting is, he wasn't able to come out through the audience as he would traditionally would. But hey, nonetheless, he looks pretty good though. I don't have too many memories of the Sandman. I grew up watching ECW when it was like the WWE version. They relaunched it in 2005 with One Night Stand. And then in 2006 they had the sequel to that event leading to the ECW relaunch. And that's really as much knowledge of the Sandman I had growing up. It wouldn't be until later where I would watch the documentaries and watch his story through old documentaries and old footage. But I mean, he is a decorated ECW champion 5 times over. Well, there you go. Even the commentators mention it. We're going to go and respectfully skip through his. I've always loved the look of the ECW arena. It's very, when I say intimate, it's very quaint. You know what I mean? Everyone's kind of closed in together. The crowd was always really electrifying when it came to ECW events. Rob Van Dam, one of the all-time greats. One of my favorites growing up for sure. And again, this is going to be for the ECW television title. Love the graphic, man. I can remember in 2006 we had bought the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view. And that was the first time I had watched anything ECW related. And to see the way the crowd would react to every move or every match was just very infectious. You kind of got into the show. You kind of got into what was going on way more than what you thought you would have. One thing that I remember too was because I was, 8 years old, and hearing a lot of the chants or the profanities that were chanted towards the crowd, and being 8 years old and having my parents watch it with me, that always stuck with me because I don't think they knew entirely what ECW fans were like, I should say. So that memory has always stuck with me. All right, let's go ahead and start. It's under ECW, or excuse me, under Extreme Rules. I do look forward to having more, content in a live streaming sense. It's just a matter of what I would be doing. I know the last couple that I've done, there was one that I did for 2K. Hold on, let me lock in. I've done two live streams. The first one was like a predictions for like the Slammies that was airing during WrestleMania weekend, and then the second one was just 2K gameplay, much like how I'm doing right now. But I would love to do more. I would love to do like a Ask Me Anything or a Q&A type of deal, especially regarding like my fandom of wrestling, because a lot of the stuff that I post online is regarding what's going on in today's world. Dude, Sandman's actually kicking my ass. Okay, here we go. There's a lot of like what's going on in today's climate of pro wrestling, but I would love to dive into like my favorites or like my opinions about older wrestling. I've had some ideas. There might be some days where I might just be hanging out, live streaming. A lot of times there will be days where I like to just throw on old wrestling shows. Like recently I've had a lot of like WCW Nitro. Again, because I didn't grow up watching Nitro. I was, 3 years old when... I didn't want to throw it outside. I was 3 years old when it went like out of business. So I didn't really have the opportunity to watch it. So a lot of stuff that I learned from Nitro and ECW is through like the archives and through like the past footage. So I would love to like just do like a live stream just watching whatever. Talk about what's going on. Obviously, because of copyright reasons, I won't be able to like stream it, so you guys necessarily wouldn't watch it with me. But if that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. Hopefully a lot of you guys have Peacock, that we can be like a watch along, if anything. I'm trying to load up the ring here with... Let's get a table. Yeah, we're still figuring out the scheduling of the channel. I want to do a lot more like daily uploads, just to get in the habit, and just because there's like a lot of wrestling going on. If you look at the climate of the sport itself, there's a show every day, and it's like I keep up primarily with the WWE because, you know, that was the #1 show I grew up watching. I enjoy watching AEW. But it's not really the focus of what I cover. Then there's like also Impact, or I mean they revamped back to TNA. And he countered. But I don't really keep up with it. I keep up with them like through the internet and through like Twitter. I catch the clips and stuff. It's really a crazy time to be a pro wrestling fan. There's so much content going on, so much variety. Because if you're a fan of TNA, WWE, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor is still technically with AEW. But there's like a lot of variety. And then I'm hoping people have noticed. I did upload something on the community tab that the podcast will now be on Fridays. It will now be on Fridays. I noticed that a lot of viewership was coming through the weekend. You know, I would upload on Wednesdays just because it's always been that way. But we're going to be doing it Fridays now. So tomorrow at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, you guys can expect another episode of the podcast where I'll be covering mostly the King of the Ring. The King of the Ring, again, as I mentioned, is a concept that I really enjoyed growing up. For people who don't know, Salmon can counter a lot. For people who don't know, I went to Judgment Day 2006 with my family. It was the first professional wrestling event that we had attended together. And there was the finals of the 2006 King of the Ring tournament. It was Booker T and Bobby Lashley. So since then, I've always had like this fondness for the King of the Ring. Dang. But yeah, the podcast itself has had like an evolution. For people who have followed me enough, you would know that like initially it started off like as a sports thing, and then there was a period in time where I wanted to cover movies. was anticlimactic. But truthfully, pro wrestling has always been like the #1 consistency in my life. There was a time where it's like I wanted to kind of take a break from it and like do other things, but nah, once you got bit by the wrestling bug, it's hard to get rid of, even during the dark times, you know. With another one just in case. But yeah, you guys have been awesome in terms of the support. The subscriber count has been going up. I know I set the goal. Let's finish this off. I know I said the goal was to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, and I mean, just overwhelmed, man. It's been awesome so far. Throughout this live stream, you might hear the jets flying over. We live near like an air base, so that's primarily why. If you notice in my videos, the lighting isn't like the best. It's because I do it mostly at night to avoid the jets flying out during the day. And it's tough to predict. Like, you can have like a window of when they'll fly, but I mean, you never really know exactly when they're gonna do their drills. There we go. We got some color. But I lost my train of thought there for a second. Oh yeah. But like, so I said 1,000. Entering the year itself, we were sitting around like 150. And now to be where we're at, just so appreciative, so grateful. I'd love to get your guys' input on what you would like to see more often. I enjoy just covering like the news about what's going on in like the daily events. The podcast itself is kind of giving me an opportunity to talk like freely in an open forum and just share my opinions on overall just topics, but kind of address the history of it all too. And there's the reaction videos I do every now and then. A lot of times you'll see maybe a reaction video, and it's just me testing the waters and seeing how they'll do. Some of them have done good. I know the best reaction video was like the unveiling of the WrestleMania 40 set. But there's not really a lot of videos out there that's worth reacting to. I mean, if anything, it would just be a compilation of like craziest moves or botches or stuff like that. I don't want to get too repetitive. Otherwise, you kind of get tired of doing the same thing. Which is exactly why I'm doing like this live stream here. Just something different. Plus, if anything, this also gives me a chance to kind of talk freely with you guys and like not have to worry about sounding a certain way in the videos. Because if anybody who knows me knows that like I'm like a real perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm trying to get in the habit of just going with the flow. But, you know, we're still figuring out the little details on how we want to run this channel. There's one inspiration that I've taken away. Well, multiple, I should say. Like, for example, in terms of, like, wrestling, I've always looked at, like, a Chris Van Vliet. Like, the stuff that he does is just super cool. Always talking about wrestling and having interviews with them. I think that's like the coolest. But then I've also said in the past, I'm a fan of like Rich Eisen for the NFL and and Ernie Johnson with the NBA. I think that'd be so cool to have an opportunity to develop a show or profession of being that for like the WWE. I didn't want to do that. Okay. Well, let's try it again. But that's in due time. You know, obviously Rome isn't built in a day, and I'm luckily a very patient person. But at the same time, I don't want to wait too long and rest on my laurels. I want to be able to to produce the best stuff that I can.
Everyone is out of their seats right now. All eyes are glued on the action in front of them. This is dangerous here. Oh, no.
Nice suplex. Oh, he countered that. It's also like a good shot, or a good chance, I should say, of figuring out timing. Because there are some nights, you probably hear the motorcycle drive by. There are some nights where I want to do like a live stream at night. But keep in mind with the scheduling, Monday is like Monday Night Raw. Tuesday there's NXT. Then Wednesday there's Dynamite. Thursday nights there's nothing. But I'm a fan of football, so when football season comes up, I don't want to make a promise of like doing stuff if I already know there's something else in mind. Friday there's SmackDown. Saturday and Sunday hit or miss because obviously that's when like the family does something. And PLEs and pay-per-views. So Thursdays might be the best day for live streams. Maybe doing one in the morning for 2K and then one at night just hanging around. But I mean, again, nothing's set for sure. They make like Sandman actually really good in this game. I mean, I don't have to say that he's not good. But it's just because, like I said, I'm so used to the WWE portrayal of the character. He brought the table in, so let's go ahead and use it. No. The table. That's another thing too. The shorts. The shorts have been exponentially huge when it came to the growth of the channel itself. I found a lot of the evolution videos are really the ones that have the most success. So you can expect me to be doing that a little bit more. Okay, now it's time to finish. And because of the way this setup is, my camera, my face cam is over here, so I can't even see how many stars I got. So we're gonna find out in a moment. 5 star? 5 star for a 5-star frog splash. So Salmon wasn't the only guy that was included in the DLC. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Traditional's fine. Survivor. Yeah, why not Survivor Series? That's what I'm looking for. And let's go with the 2 guys that he's had beef with. There we go. Set that down for a second there. Just enjoy the entrance. Still can't get over the fact that he's back. I remember in 2014. Reading that he had walked out of the company. I'll never forget it. It was on Bleacher Report, and they even got the chance. That's fire. And just being taken aback and keeping up to date with all like the news that was going on. I remember at some point, I think it might have been in May, and like Vince had done like a press conference or some kind of a interview where he said Punk was just taking a sabbatical. And no one really knew when he would come back, but it was like June that he had gotten fired on his wedding day. And at that point, we didn't think he was coming back. And people had set up for hope. I know I set out for hope a lot of times, thinking he would come back. And it had gone to the point, I think, in 2019, I was just checked out. He wasn't coming back. I accepted it at that point. And then he came into WWE backstage, and that opened up a door. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then, of course, his AEW run, which really was a huge proponent into him coming back because it got him back into the business. And we all know about the drama between the Elite, Jack Perry, Tony Khan. So it was a long time coming, nearly 10 years to the day that he comes back in ring. But I mean, Punk was always my favorite. Growing up as a teen, my favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels. But as a teenager growing up, Punk was my guy, and he still is. Anytime I see him on TV, regardless if it's AEW, WWE, I gotta stop what I'm doing and watch, because he's become must-see TV in terms of his in-ring ability, in terms of the promos, just the persona. And Drew's been on fire too. How crazy is it that the best feud on TV right now is between two guys that are injured? I know a lot of people, myself included, were looking very much forward to the match with Seth. But what they've been able to build between CM Punk and Drew is amazing. I'm just curious to see when they pull the trigger. I would think a SummerSlam makes the most sense if both guys are ready to go. And then ultimately WrestleMania 41, it's got to be Seth versus Punk. That was, everyone knew that was the plan for this year's WrestleMania, but with Punk's injury, they had to change everything up. And ultimately it worked out in the end. But I mean, that's the match everyone wants to see, right? Let's go and get to the match. I just watched CM Punk's entrance because obviously he's new. He's in the DLC. They're in Chicago. They're in Rosemont, Illinois, but I mean Chicago. Who we got first? Drew? Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that is the Royal Rumble gear that Punk is wearing, which would make sense. It was his only match. I find triple threat matches so fun in 2K just because it adds that extra level of like drama and surprise. Like one-on-ones are fun because you really get to test like the whole star system. But with this, it's far more quicker in terms of the pace. Once again, we're playing WWE 2K24 triple threat match, trying out the ECW pack.
What are the perils of this match that superstars must be concerned with? Now, this is the type of setting where you must beware of outside interference because when he thinks he has it, running interference.
Gotta break up that pin. But it is crazy to think that all three of these guys are actually injured. I mean, we know that Rollins is taking some time off to heal up, and we don't really know the severity of his injuries, but you can tell in that video at the conclusion of WrestleMania and seeing him limp, he was in a bad way. I mean, I believe it was a meniscus? Or it was something in his knee. There was something in his knee that he had gotten injured. Nice throwaway German. Both kick. Anaconda. Oh, he's gonna break up the Anaconda Vice anyway. Yeah. Too late. We gotta get after Drew. Drew is like the least amount of damage on him. Oh, come on. That, no. No way. I was about to say. Too slow. It really is interesting to see at one point Punk is going to be cleared, because we've seen him now without that brace on his arm. And you would have me fooled to believe that he's good to go. And maybe he is, because there were reports saying that he was, you know, progressing along quicker than originally anticipated. But at the same time, you want to be able to save it for the opportunity. So that is to say, I don't think it'll be at Clash at the Castle. Money in the Bank, I don't know. I feel like SummerSlam is the way to go in terms of pulling the trigger on a Drew versus Punk matchup. And then from there, it's like, where do we go? Because we know that two easy feuds for him to jump in is obviously McIntyre and Rollins. I mean, they hinted at Kevin, but Kevin's a SmackDown guy. Oh. Sling Blade. I missed him, bro. How unfortunate. Gotta get back in. Yep, because I knew he was gonna go for a pin. Who should we, let's go with Drew. Swinging neck breaker. Come on, Seth. I'm trying to put him through a table. I know I've done a match with Punk yesterday just because I couldn't wait. And I know what his super finisher is, which I think is just awesome that they actually gave that an option. Ouch. I wasn't ready for that. We'll let them do their thing here for a second. Hopefully well, one of them gets incapacitated. And then we'll just... Oh, shoot, I wasn't looking. Oh, no. So, the one time I looked down at the chat, he hits me with the Claymore. And the first 1-2, I tried kicking out, and I tried doing the resiliency, the trigger Y, and I just didn't get it in time. How unfortunate, man. But I feel like that is something that would happen in real life. Wow. And it was only 3 stars? I feel like that was better than that. Wow. You guys really just saw me lose in a triple threat match. Because I mentioned WCW earlier. Well, let's go. I'm thinking of like who else was there. Let's go with the Gauntlet Eliminator. And we'll go... Let's go with 6. What time is it right now? Depending on how long this match will go, this might be the last match. I'm only going to go for an hour. Just to, again... Just get a session in. I don't really play for that long. We'll go Eddie. And I'm going to go strictly WCW, guys. Hollywood Hogan. Yeah, why not? I'm the WCW guy. Is it just going to give me all? No, I don't want all NWO, though. What about Ray? Let's go with Ray. Just want to make sure other versions. Yeah, let's go Starcade. At this point, I'm just pushing random to see. I know Rick Steiner's a WCW guy, but I mean, with all due respect. Oh, what about 6? I know I saw X-Pac, but let's go 6. I might take out Hogan, just because I feel like he's now the outlier. Superstar Gauntlet Eliminator matchup. But yeah, let me know, guys, if you are interested in more live streams and different format. I mean, we know the rules. Different formats. Like I said, I'm thinking about just doing hangouts. I'll be watching wrestling, and you guys will be getting my reactions. Vader will be starting the match. The only issue with that, like I said earlier, is obviously I won't be able to stream the matches live because of copyright reasons. And the way the scheduling has been looking like on the channel, Tuesdays, obviously, I will do like a video regarding what happened on Monday Night Raw. Wednesdays, I think I'm going to leave up to like an open topic, just whatever I'm feeling like. Maybe listings, maybe rankings, something like that. Thursdays will probably be streams, just to keep it interesting. Fridays is when I'm going to release the podcast episodes. Saturdays, there's going to be something on SmackDown. Sundays might be open. It's just because there's going to be pay-per-views and PLEs. And I think Sundays will be reserved for something that happened during those events, as was Monday. But yeah, still fine-tuning it in terms of the channel. And really looking at ways to... I can skip his entrance. To incorporate more videos every day. We have shorts pretty much every day. Who's Rick Rude? And I'm trying to get in the habit. Of doing more evolution videos, because those have really been doing well. So it might be like every other day there's an evolution video, and then in between evolution videos Probably a clip from whatever video I had uploaded, just to get it out there and kind of like a preview. So the way this match works for those who haven't played it yet, I'm assuming a lot of people have though, is it's very much like a gauntlet match. People are going to be coming at intervals, except it's an elimination style. So very much like a Royal Rumble, except the only difference is instead of throwing them out of the ring, it's pin or submission. WCW, I've always had this like fascination with WCW, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, because I didn't grow up watching it, and we're already going to get a third entrant here. I didn't grow up watching it, so a lot of the stuff that I watch is I just throw on an episode of Nitro or throw on a documentary. Oh wow, we're already in. Okay. So part of me is thinking like, well, what if we just did a live stream every episode of Nitro, or even something regarding like the Monday Night Wars, and just reacting to them. And he's the smallest guy in here. Jesus. And like I said, this will probably be the last match. I'm only going to do 3 again just to get in the habit of going live. Wow, these intervals are really quick actually. I'm getting out of the ring. I don't want to get hit with the kendo. Okay, so it is legal then. We can hit each other with... I wanted to be sure. I knew it was pin or submission, but I didn't realize that there were no DQs. And Ray's coming in, so that's... Wait a minute. That isn't even the gear I had selected for Ray. I chose the Starcade one. The black and silver. And it still went with Halloween Havoc. How are we supposed to get any momentum when there's a new guy every like 20 seconds? Oh, he's going right after 6. That's crazy. And then naturally, it's Hollywood Hogan at number 6. Nope, not quite. I mean, in theory, you would want to go after Vader. He's the biggest guy there. Get him out of the ring. Get him out of the match, I should say. Hogan's another guy. He's real fresh. A lot of champions in this matchup. Cruiserweight champions, US champions, tag champions, WCW heavyweight champions. And that's just from WCW. You go to WWE, we have Intercontinental champions, US champion, Cruiserweight champions, tag champions, WWE champions. I think the only guy in this match that never won a WWE title, and not like the world title, but just a single championship in the company, was Vader. And then I don't know why it took them so long to put Vader in the Hall of Fame. And it's just a shame that it got to the point that he had already passed, and then that's when they put him in. Because there were some years where it's like you could have easily included Vader in the Hall of Fame. The one I immediately think of, 2011 in Atlanta. I mean, I don't know if there was any beef or any issues going on between Vince and Vader at the time, but still. I have my phone blocking the screen, so I can't even see like my own health bar. No eliminations thus far. But we're going to try to get one here with 6. Or not.
There's nothing wrong with this. This is a good opportunity to recalibrate. Here's the pump handle. Suplex. Launched. Those are folding chairs, but they can also fold you in half. Saw that one coming. Took advantage. Kick to the back. Canadian backbreaker submission. Hold on a second. Could be a matter of time. Submission being locked in. I think he's... How do you escape the effect?
Okay. I'm going to try to hit 6 here with our special. Or our finisher, I should... Oh, signature, excuse me. But it won't let me.
What's next?
Now? No, it wants me to hit a finisher. I don't want to hit a finisher on him. A lot of chaos. Seeing Ray swing a chair is crazy. Alright, let's see if we can get Hogan out. Nope. Nope, and Ray's still in too. Hurricane Rana there by X-Pac. Or I'm sorry, 6, as he was known in WCW. Can't get me if I'm in the ring. We're just going to go after Ray. We're going to pick on Ray here. What? Trying to get out of the corner here. Alright, Hogan. You want to pick on me? Oh, come on. Really? Got him. And didn't even give me the option to use the resiliency. Everyone's on the outside here. So it gives me enough space. No. Okay, then we're going for 6. Oh, so like, okay, so I tried hitting my finisher so many times, and it wouldn't give me that option. I finally hit it, and he reverses it, and now he's going out of, dude. And like, it would be the biggest guy in the match left. Can I hit? Oh. Now, you know he wouldn't lift up Vader. Let's see if we can get him out. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. And he would kick out. Because obviously Vader was not getting pinned by Eddie Guerrero in 97. I had 3 finishers. I'm down to my last one. I kind of regret... Can I hit a signature on him? I kind of regret getting 6 guys at once because it's just there's no room. That's got... Did someone break that up? Good God. I might just hang out here, dude. There's too much going on. Okay, Rick Rude's out.
We still got a lot ahead of us with 4 more entrants on the list. What impact. That'll turn your lights out. Oh, counters right into the bread basket.
What the hell, dude? Let me get in the ring. Okay, 6 might be eliminated. Let me get in there. I'm dead.
Inhuman at this point. Looking wobbly in the
What's my health looking like here? I messed up. Another Hurricane Rana. And I'm back out. Jesus.
quick back elbow. Detours that offense. Oh, come on. Why would you stick that long? This is it.
Am I like the most... Okay, no, I was gonna say the most damaged one there, but Ray's been through it too.
Latino heat with a boot to the gut. And a brain blitz could do it. And there's the cover. And the referee start to count. And that's the end of this gauntlet for Rey Mysterio Jr.
No, the one time I actually wanted to get out of the ring.
2 more entrants to go. And that one busted.
And then how funny, I'm left with the 2 giants.
Gentlemen, I feel like this match will be over in about 5 seconds. I think you're right, Corey. Vader, ready to go in. Vader bomb. Does the Hulkster have strength to recover? 2. That'll do it. Look at his gun in this gauntlet match. Here they are. Our final entrant will win the match. Guerrero.
You gotta swoop in. Take advantage of it. That's how it's done. That's why you wait until the very end, let him hit his finish, and then take advantage of it, pick up the scraps. And he got messed up in this match, dude.
Get through that gauntlet match. Against all of the odds, it's honestly a miracle. I'm not so sure about a miracle, but definitely a big win here in this elimination match.
5-star. Damn right. Damn right. I'll probably sneak in another one here. Let's go with an old WrestleMania look. WrestleMania 10. And although it's not who he originally faced at WrestleMania, I'm gonna pick Shawn Michaels, 94, against his bodyguard at the time, Diesel. Which, ironically enough, that's who he was with at WrestleMania 10. The hair is crazy. I do miss this version of the Intercontinental Championship. The current one, it took a minute, but it grew on me. It did grow on me. But I mean, this is a great look for the title. I do like the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression version, the blue oval shape. But when I think of the Intercontinental title, that's what I think of.
Clear the way. The big man from the Motor City is coming through.
I don't know how many of you guys are Diesel / Kevin Nash fans, but that's another reason why I try to watch some WCW, because you could argue he was bigger there than he was in WWE. He was only with the WWE from what, 94 to 96. That's crazy to think it was only 2 years. and then a short stint between 2002 and 2003. But he spent a good portion of his career in WCW. We're talking 96 all the way to 2001. 5 years? And he had a run in TNA, but it was like on and off again. My math might be off, but just off the top of my head, was he any in TNA the longest? Because, I mean, we're talking 2010, 2004. No, it probably was WCW because he was on and off again when he came to TNA. What a resume Shawn Michaels has in terms of like match of the year. I mean, match of the year in 94, 96, 97. You can argue 95 because I really do like his ladder match against Razor Ramon at SummerSlam 95. 90, well, not in the 90s, but like 2003, 2004, 2005, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Like, he had a long list of matches, especially at WrestleMania, where many of them were considered to be matches of the year. This match, I don't think I'm going to go for 5 stars in this match. I'm just trying to go for a win.
This is the type of matchup where Shawn Michaels will show his in-ring IQ. I'm sure Michaels devised a special plan to take down the nearly 7-footer. HBK will need his cat-like quickness to
Get him back up. Let's go for a dive.
HBK cannot give Diesel a moment to look out. Suicide dive. No sign of hesitation, and that risk gained big rewards. And he gets set back into the ring. Michaels hooks it up. Nice teardrop suplex. Classic HBK. This is how he steals the show. The pace is quick and courtesy of Shawn Michaels.
One thing that always amazes me too is how in the 90s Shawn and Triple H were DX and causing havoc in the WWE and basically trying to take over the company the way the NWO would in the 90s as well. And now fast forward to present day, and they basically run the company. Vince is out now, so with Shawn running NXT and Triple H doing the main roster, like, if you would have told someone all those years ago that, hey, like, these guys are going to actually run the show, how crazy would that be?
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Just a barrage of elbow drops into the chest, unleashing a barrage on their opponent.
No, I can't. I guess not.
Deep, deep trouble here for Diesel. Sweet chin music.
That might be it.
The exclamation point is down.
I already know it's not going to be a 5-star classic. It wasn't by any means. It was shorter than, what, 5 minutes? Less? But yeah, that's going to conclude the stream. Thank you guys for joining me. Just hanging out, playing 2K for a little bit. Be on the lookout for another YouTube short, obviously coming out today, an episode of the podcast tomorrow, and then on Saturday morning, we'll upload a video just talking about what happened on Friday Night SmackDown. 2.5 stars. Well, on that note, 2.5 stars, pretty damn good for a match rating, apparently. Again, thank you guys for joining the live stream. We'll see you guys in another video later.